Alex, and I'm in my man cave, my fortress of solitude, my twisted circus. And today I'm going to give you a quick rig rundown on what I use with the band. It's not going to be anywhere near as long or as in-depth as Chicky's because I don't use anywhere near as much gear as him, and I also am nowhere near as much of a gearhead or as competent as he is. I have a pretty simple setup. You know, we've got two really great lead guitarists, Dave and Chicky. I just kind of stick to the rhythm, and my setup kind of reflects that. So I guess I'll start with my cabinet. I have a vertical Marshall 2x12. It's the MX series. I bought it used from Chicky because he got a new one. He upgraded and I reaped all the benefits. Thanks, buddy. He gave me a great deal on it. It's nice that it's vertical because, you know, I used to use a 1x12. I'd have to bend over to adjust things. I have a really lousy back. 9/10 of what I use with the band is because I either want practicality or simplicity. It's really great for, you know, leaving beer or a bobblehead on stage on the cabinet. It's taller. I also have a really nice apartment with a really narrow stairwell, so it's easier to get through. But anyway, I've got the 2x12 cabinet. Then over here, I've got my pedal board set up. Come take a look. I use a wireless because I'm clumsy, and the less cables I have, the less chance I'll trip over my own 2 feet or them. I use a Line 6 G50 wireless. A little more expensive than the G30, but the battery pack is made of metal instead of just plastic, so it holds up a little better when I inevitably drop it. So I don't have an amp head. I used to use a orange Micro Terror because it was loud enough. I got by and it was really light, small. I just threw the wireless unit, good thing it's metal. I just switched over to using something new that Orange put out at NAMM this year. It's the Orange Terror stamp. That basically acts as my amp head. It's a pedal on my pedal board. It's real similar to the Micro Terror. The only difference is it has 2 volume channels instead of just 1. So I can use one of them for leads. Not that I play too many, but you know, occasionally there's a riff or an octave part I have to play. And you know, it'll help that get through the wall of noise that is Chicky's Friedman and Joe's Ampeg. And you know, A1 is a great drummer, so he's loud as hell too. I run that into a noise suppressor, then into a compressor, then into my tuning pedal, then into the wireless unit. Really a simple setup, not a lot there, but you know, when you're playing a gig or you're on the road, less is more. You know, the less you have, the less you're likely to lose or forget something. If something breaks when you're on stage, it's less you have to look through to try and fix the problem and get your sound back up. So I try to keep it really simple. Let me show you the guitars I use. I have a couple, but I have a couple guitars, but I only really use 2 of them when we play out. Let's see here. Gotta love SKB cases. They're really durable. Anytime we go on the road, whether it's like a one-off, a weekend, or a couple weeks at a time, I take this guitar. This is my main live guitar, and this case has had everything from band members to the merch tote crash on it, and you know, it's still in one piece. So my main live guitar, if you come see the band play, 9 times out of 10 I'm playing this. It's a 2003 Les Paul Special. It's a Gibson. You know, the traditional Les Paul Special was 2 P90 single coil pickups, a pickguard, really flashy, usually TV yellow. 2003, and I think in 2006 they also made them more like kind of a standard Les Paul, but with a flat top, humbuckers. I like it because I can really use pretty much any kind of guitar you throw at me. They're all kind of the same to me. but I do like Gibson tone, and it's for a Les Paul, it's really light compared to like a standard or even a studio. Like I said, I destroyed my back when I was younger, so if I can get away with something a little bit lighter that still has that really great Gibson sound, this is what I'll get away with it. And this is what I'll use. And this is my road guitar because as much as I like it, if something happens to it, it gets broken, it gets stolen, one of the guys in the band has way too much beer before we go on and throws up on it, I'm not going to lose any sleep over anything bad happening to this. Whenever we go out on the road, I always have the mindset, don't bring anything that you're not okay with not coming home with. Like, if you have a favorite t-shirt or something, or like a really expensive, I don't know, $150 pillow that might get left in Tennessee, probably not a good idea to bring that on the road. Also, always have a good roadie, have a road cat. They don't carry much, but people like them. You can slap its face on a t-shirt and it'll sell, right? All right, enough of him. He's served his purpose. Like I said, don't bring anything on the road you're not okay with losing or never seeing again. This, stuff happens. If I lose this guitar, I've got others. Everything on the Les Paul was standard. I got it used at Guitar Center. I didn't really do anything to it. All my guitars have strap locks, Ernie Ball straps, and Ernie Ball 12 gauge guitar strings because I never learned how to play it properly and I just kind of bash at it. I break strings if I use a smaller gauge. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, that's the guitar you're going to see me with. That 10th time, occasionally I'll bring this one out, or if like the cat's back again, wonderful. Yes, there you go. Cat's gonna cat. I'll usually bring this one out once in a while if I want to change it up, or if I break this one, like our last weekend down to Georgia, with like one song left in the set, I managed to break the input on it, and I had the cable and the cable jack hanging by the wire that was soldered into the body. Not good. Took me a little while to get what I needed to have Chicky fix it. Chicky's a genius. He really knows his gear. He knows how to fix everything. He's kind of like Doc Brown without the DeLorean or the hair sticking out at the side. But anyway, if I'm not using the Les Paul, I'm using this, which is a Schecter S1 Vampira. There weren't a lot of these made. This one is not actually all standard. I swapped out the bridge pickup from one of the Duncan designed humbuckers to a Seymour Duncan, I think it's an S7 distortion pickup. Gives it a lot more crunch. One of these days I'll get around to swapping out the neck one. I don't really use it, so just having the bridge one hot rodded seems to do the trick for me. Actually, a really fun story about how I got this guitar. We had done a weekend run down to Delaware and North Carolina. We were playing something called Halloween in July at the Rock Shop in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Loved that venue, great place, great people. Great bill. We were playing with Graveyard Boulevard, The Casket Creatures, Rictus Grimm, and this was years ago. I'd seen these on eBay and the internet, but I hadn't had a chance to try one. And we get down there and we're shooting the breeze with the guys in The Casket Creatures. We played Ghouls Night Out with them, so we were, getting a little better acquainted. And it turns out Jamie, their guitarist, had this guitar, and he also had the black one. They had 2 designs, this one and a black one, and Jamie had them, and he was nice enough to let me try his, and I liked the feel of it. Obviously the look is great, And I said, oh, I'm definitely going to have to, keep my eyes open. Maybe I can find one and snag it. And he just looks at me and he goes, there's one on eBay right now. It's going off like tomorrow. So we're driving back to New Jersey from North Carolina, and we're stopped at a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Virginia. And that's when this thing's going off on eBay. So I've got my bandmates shoveling fried chicken and like corn into their mouths, and I'm on I think our friend Chris's phone trying to win this thing, and I have Joe, our bass player, egging me on. You got to do it, bid more, bid higher. Janine's not going to care what you spend on it. And to be fair, he was right. She didn't, and I wound up winning it. I snaked it at the last second. Sorry if you were bidding on it, but stuff happens, and I wanted it. So that's pretty much what I use with the band. I'm a big fan of less is more, so I don't really use anything. Jared's texting me with a question mark, so I don't know why he's doing that, but whatever. Like I said, less is more. One last guitar I'll show you. I usually only bring it out for special occasions because it's my favorite. This is an early 2000s Gibson Les Paul Jr. I always liked Johnny Thunders, so any excuse to have a TV yellow guitar, I was going to take it. When they put this model out, it didn't have a P90 in it like Les Paul Jr.'s normally do. It had a humbucker with a push-pull tone.
Yeah.
We're back. Technical difficulties. What are you going to do? Gotta love quarantine. So anyway, this is my favorite guitar. I don't bring it out too often. Usually I only break it out if we're playing Starland Ballroom or some other really big room. It's an early 2000s Gibson Les Paul Jr. I always like Johnny Thunders, so any excuse to have a TV yellow guitar, I'm going to take it. This is a Gibson P100 single coil pickup. It isn't stock. This guitar originally came with, I think it was called an H100. It was basically a humbucker, and it had a push-pull knob on the tone, so you could make it split coil sound like a single coil pickup, but I wanted it more like a traditional Les Paul Jr. So I slapped a P100 in here, which is basically a P90 pickup that is sized so it fits in a humbucker housing, so you don't have to like cut the guitar to make a P90 fit in it, and you'll still get a pretty similar sound. I also swapped out the tuning pegs for something just a little different other than the traditional 50s style ones. I don't know, it's really comfortable. It's beat to hell, but the heart wants what it wants. This one just happens to be my favorite. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I use with the band. For guitar picks, I use 0.5 millimeter custom ones with my name on them. In Tune Guitar Picks makes them. I've been using them for years. That's pretty much it. Hope you guys are staying safe and sane in quarantine. I'm trying. I was never sane to begin with. Hopefully you're listening to our stuff on Spotify or iTunes or YouTube or whatever streaming we're on. If you get tired of listening to us, check out our friends, the Casket Creatures, Die 985. It's a couple of the guys that were in the Casket Creatures. Great band. One of the guys from 52 Ways is in the band. The cat loves the amp. It's going to fall over on him, and I'm going to laugh. And check out our friends Ghost Road from West Virginia. And hopefully we'll see you real soon. All right. Later.